Conan, what is best in life?
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
That is good.
Okay, I know Conan wasn't a paladin, but the sentiment is the same. Hey fellow Game Masters, I'm Richard Quiner and welcome back to the RPG Daily, your daily dose of all things tabletop role-playing games, helping you build your world and master your game. Today we dive into the sacred oaths of Paladins with the Oath of Conquest. As we go through this video, let me know your thoughts on this oath and how this works, and I just want to know what you think about it. Generally, Paladins like order. They like to have some structure in all the chaos, but sometimes they want to go an extra step further, and that's when you get the Paladins of the Oath of Conquest. These Paladins crush their enemies, make sure they don't get back up after a fight, and establish order through force of their fists. These Paladins kind of walk a fine line between good and evil, where some have even gone to extra levels to side or ally themselves. Devils are very big on law and structure and order, and these paladins who side with them are often seen as taking it a little too far by others who follow this exact same oath. All you really need to know as a paladin of conquest is controlling your enemies is fine, but it's even better to wipe them out completely. Tenets are fundamental beliefs that all these oaths have. They have each oath has 3 tenets that they follow, which we're going to get into a little bit right here. Paladins who follow the Oath of Conquest will actually sear the tenets into their upper arms, like a brand, so they always remember what they are here for. First up, they say, douse the flame of hope. This means if you're going to knock your enemy down, make sure they don't get back up. Next is rule with an iron fist. Don't tolerate dissent among your followers. Crush them. You are the word of law. It's a lot like being a GM. And last is strength above all else. You will rule if you are the strongest until someone who is stronger comes along and beats you. If you lose control, it's your own fault because you weren't becoming stronger with the time you had available. These are the beliefs, the basic beliefs, of Conquest Paladins. Now let's get into the mechanics and see how this subclass works. At level 3, when you choose this oath, you are given some oath spells, similar to clerics and artificers. At certain levels, you gain access to 2 more spells that are just now a part of your repertoire. They are always prepared and do not count against the total number of prepared spells you can have as a paladin. They are all paladin spells, no matter which spell list they come off of normal. And again, similar to the clerics, I won't go into depth about each spell here, but I'll touch on some of them. At level 3, you're going to get the spells Armor of Agathis and Command. Armor of Agathis covers you with a magical shield that looks like frost that gives you extra temporary HP. When you hit level 5, you'll get the spells Hold Person and Spiritual Weapon. Hold Person lets you use your magic to actually paralyze a humanoid, and this is just super potent in a combat situation because then your other party can just wail on them. At level 9, you're going to get the spells Bestow Curse and Fear. Bestow Curse lets you touch a creature and actually curse them with one of 4 different abilities, all of which are bad for the cursed creature. At level 13, you get Dominate Beast and Stone Skin. Stone Skin lets you touch a willing creature and turn their skin into a stone-like substance that then lets them be resistant to non-magical damage, that is bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing. At level 17, you're going to get the spells Cloud Kill and Dominate Person. Dominate Person allows you to charm a humanoid, a very potent charm in that case, and allows you to give them directions within reason that they then have to follow. Also, along with this oath, at level 3, you're going to get your Channel Divinity abilities, which are pretty interesting for this subclass. You have 2 options. First up is Conquering Presence, where your physical presence is so intimidating and menacing. As an action, any creatures that you choose who are within 30 feet of you have to make a wisdom saving throw. If they fail that save, they are then frightened of you for the next minute or until they end the fear by rolling a wisdom saving throw at the end of each of their turns. This gives them the frightened condition, which I made a video about the other day, and it's pretty cool. The other Channel Divinity ability is Guided Strike, which basically means you channel your divine energy into your attack, which means when you roll an attack with this ability, you can give yourself a +10 modifier to that attack. You can choose to use the Channel Divinity after you've rolled the dice, but before the DM tells you what the result is. At level 7, it's time to expand your auras with the Aura of Conquest. This ability ties directly into your channel ability of causing creatures to be frightened of you. While you are not incapacitated, you now have a menacing aura around you as well that extends 10 feet on all sides. While you have this aura, if a creature who is frightened of you enters your aura or starts their turn there, their speed is reduced to 0. Meaning they cannot move, they are so frightened. In addition to that, if that creature starts their turn in your aura, they take psychic damage equal to 1/2 your paladin level, minimum being 1. This just means you can frighten creatures, have them trapped within your aura, and deal psychic damage repeatedly to them through the course of fighting. It's not super powerful damage, but it's something. At level 15, you get Scornful Rebuke, which is more of the "how dare you strike me" kind of attitude that the Paladin of Conquest really would have. If the insolent creature decides to attack you, you can then cause them to take damage back. When you are hit with an attack, the attacker takes psychic damage equal to your Charisma ability score modifier. At level 20, you get Invincible Conqueror. You're not invincible. When you're the Invincible Conqueror, you're just really strong. You've channeled all this divine energy and this power of conquest and keeping your oath into creating an avatar of conquest that you transform. That's how they describe it. I think you can actually change shape a little bit, and you gain several bonuses while you are this avatar of conquest. Turning into this avatar takes 1 action to accomplish and will last for 1 minute. While you are this way, you are first off resistant to all damage types. Second off, when you take your attack action as the avatar of conquest, you can gain an additional attack, which is pretty powerful. Already as a paladin at level 5, you get a bonus attack with your attack action. This lets you have a 3rd attack with your attack action. And last, if you make a melee attack, a 19 or a 20 count as a critical hit instead of just a 20. You can use this feature once per long rest. That's the Oath of Conquest. Pretty well quickly broken down for you to try and explain and clarify. This oath is a beast. This thing is powerful in my opinion. The interesting thing I thought about this as I was going through it is a lot of this is about crowd control and fear. There isn't a lot of abilities that enhance the damage dealing capacity. There are a few, yes, but there's nothing overwhelming with the damage output of this subclass, but there is overwhelming control of your enemies, and I think that's where you can make this class really shine as a crowd control. Keep the enemies afraid of you and moving at a distance while your allies take pot shots or can close in and kill them. That sort of thing is very potent in my opinion. You might want to look at this one of 2 ways. One, you can lean into that crowd controlling abilities by taking some spells that will enhance that, or you can go the opposite route of picking abilities that enhance your melee combat prowess and let you deal more damage while you're moving around. So you have quite a few options with this. If I were to play this, I would probably just lean into the crowd control and kind of try to master making my enemies do what I want. When it comes to role-playing, this oath is interesting because it's not considered an evil aligned subclass. It's a normal subclass. So I thought it's interesting how it's very angry and aggressive as a class, which can make for some really interesting roleplay moments for a character running this subclass. I feel like this would bring tension to an adventure party. Tension is not always bad. If unchecked and let to run rampant and fester, it can tear a party apart sometimes if they just can't figure out and get along. But in a story form, tension breeds more story, and if the players and the party works together to solve the problem, it can really make for some great character moments and some really good storytelling. That's my opinion, at least. I really like the idea of playing a character like this who is so hellbent on being the strongest and the best and conquering, who then along the way realizes that being the strongest is by surrounding yourself with equally strong people who will help support you and make you a stronger person through the adventure party. I like that idea, and I think it would kind of subvert the standard, the cliche way of being a conquest oath paladin. I just think that's interesting. Let me know your thoughts on this oath in the comments below. I've been Richard. Thanks for watching.